Diversity, it's the nature of life. We have more than 10 million species on Earth. Secret, payments is no different. There are thousands of processors, payment methods, and use cases. With diversity comes the complexity of integrating, testing, and maintaining all these payment processors. Introducing Hyperswitch, an open source payment switch, which provides a single interface for the entire universe of payment ecosystem. Be it a payment processor, gateway, network, risk engine, subscription platform, you name it, we have it. All you need to do is connect to Hyperswitch. It gives you access to the entire payment ecosystem. How does it help? It helps in reducing your development efforts by 90%. Developers are the most precious resources. You don't want them to do payments. You want them to focus on core business. Apart from reducing payment effort, it helps in improving conversions. And through smart routing, you can reduce your processing cost. And you are not at the mercy of a single processor. You have full control and accessibility. Now, let's see how Hyperswitch works in context. First step is to do the connector configuration. So connector can be anything ranging from the Stripe, Adyen checkout, to all the way up to your WorldPay, CyberSource ACI. You name it, you have it. And you might ask, I have configured 4 processes already. Why? I can do it with Stripe. No, my dear. Adyen helps you better processing fee. Braintree allows you access to PayPal. Klarna gives an excellent payment experience, native experience for the Gen Z. So I need to have all the 4. And how much effort does it take to connect to a connector? It's a child's play. All you need to do is, let's say you get the API key, decide what payment methods you want to configure for Stripe, and then, boom, it's click and connect. Your developers don't have to spend sleepless nights either connecting or interacting with the incumbent who doesn't give a damn about your company. So all it takes is click and connect, and you are in full control. Step 1 connector done. Now I will have to route these in the manner I want it. It can be as simple as pecking order. I decide first try Stripe. If it doesn't go through Adyen, then Braintree, etc. It can be as simple, or it can be very, very complex rule-based thing. I have configured few. For example, this is one that's active. I can say if it is $100, more than $100 in US, send it through Stripe. If it is Europe, send it through Adyen and the likes of it. And if it is Klarna, don't send it through the existing process, send it directly through Klarna, right? So all this can be done very, very flexible, comprehensive. Or if you want Hyperswitch to do a little bit of work for you, you can just say that I want the volumes to be split between 30, 30, 40 between these 3 processors, and all this is configurable. There are even more complex configurations to optimize for your cost or conversions, etc. So all these things, now let's quickly go and see how this payment transaction is done. So now let's do a Klarna transaction. And I want to show some beautiful experience of a native experience, which the Gen Zs love. So I have already configured, so I'm just getting in. So this is the, let's say Klarna gives you that beautiful experience of paying in 4 without having to put the entire money upfront. So all this is completely native, embedded, and gives a very, very beautiful conversions. Boom, Klarna experience is done. Suppose if you want to do the same thing for, let's say, PayPal, we can do that as well, and it's again a native experience. Doesn't require too much time to integrate any of the payment methods or the processors. For example, so I agree and pay. Boom, this transaction is done. Now let's go and see this transaction is not necessarily processed through Stripe. I'm going and checking. This is done through Stripe. Let's say, sorry, Braintree. Let's see the previous transaction, which was done through Klarna. So within few minutes, I have done 3 transactions or 2 transactions, each through a different processor, and the experience is super native and embedded. OK, now you might say, OK, all this is good. How much time does it take to integrate? We are a developer-first company. We have a community of 5,000 plus developers who are actively contributing. So today, let's say I'm a company, Acme, I'm selling some products online. I have a little bit of a boring Stripe checkout page. I want to integrate Hyperswitch. OK, this might seem a little daunting for some people here, but I'll tell you it is not that difficult. So I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to do a simple script. OK, all the script does is to change the endpoints and the package dependency from Stripe to Hyperswitch. OK, there are 4 places, both on the server side as well as on the client side. The changes are done. Then I need to change the API key from Stripe to Hyperswitch. OK, this is the changes. OK, now I am done. I am going to run the server and client again. You will see from this boring, simple payment page to let's see what happens. Boom. Your payment experience is upgraded from that simple page to include PayPal, GPay, whatever you want. Not just that, if you don't like the experience, you want a midnight experience to give a full-fledged experience like this, all you need to do is not necessarily go and change your client or server. Just come to the control center, make the changes here, reload here. You will see the new experience. Yeah, boom. All this is without having to do a lot of developments. You can do bunch of things on the payment experience. You can figure it out. OK, certain types of layout gives you a better conversions, etc. So I would like to summarize by saying that diversity, we started with diversity. We cannot go without that. So Hyperswitch helps you reduce your development efforts, increase your conversion, reduce your cost. We will have to embrace diversity. Thank you so much for your time.